I'm Rhys Moran, I'm 22 and I'm a professional boxer.
You had your first pro fight in February of this year, shortly before the world kind of stopped turning. But before that, we'll go back into the amateur times. You had how many amateur fights at this point?
If I was to go back on it, I've been competing since I'm 11 years of age. That's the requirements. You can't be any younger to compete. So I compete from 11 right up till I was 19 as an amateur. So I think roughly about 150 amateur fights. And winning the majority of them. So I've had a successful amateur career. I've boxed for Ireland on numerous occasions. I've won 2 national titles, and I've had a lot of success in the amateur game. So it was at a point then in my life that I wanted to turn pro. I always wanted to as a little fella. The Olympics wasn't really a thing for me. So when I felt the time was right, had a chat with a few people, and doors started to open for me, and here I am. I'm 1-0 as a professional now, and really looking forward to kick-starting the career after the coronavirus.
So when it comes to moving across from amateur to pro, everyone will tell you that they are two different sports entirely. What are you able to take over from all the amateur experience you have, which is massive, into the pro game?
To be honest with you, I didn't really think it would have been that big of a transition until I start training up in Celtic Warriors gym, now that I'm based out of with Pascal Collins. And it wasn't until I went in sparring and doing pad work and strength and conditioning, it was all completely different. You're in there, it's called the hurt business for a reason. You're in there to hurt people now, and you kind of slow down the pace. You're not. It's not a sprint anymore, as they say. It's like a marathon. So you slow it down. You use your power shots that bit more. You take your time. You're doing more rounds, and it is completely different. You're more relaxed on your feet. You're more relaxed with the flow of punches. So as an amateur, you're it'd be nearly like, for an example, you throw 30 punches in a flurry nearly, amateur, and they could be all tip for tap, whereas you throw 6 or 7 hard shots in and you could finish someone. You have lighter gloves as well, and it's completely different. So it took a while for me to transform into a professional, and I still am. I'm still only learning. Like I said, I'm only have 1 fight as a professional. So it was a big transition. It took me a year to train as a professional first before I got that transition. Like you said, I had a load of experience as an amateur, but I needed that bit more to turn over. So I'm starting to look at a little bit of different in the ring. I didn't show everything that I had put on case for a year in my professional debut. So I'm looking forward to improving every day. I'm training hard every day to improve and to make that bit more exciting,
So you mentioned Pascal Collins, and you're working with him on promotion and a training point. So how did that come about originally? What was the introduction you had to Pascal? How did you come to know him?
Well, when I was little, I went down to the first show Pascal put on in Ireland. It was funny, we were only talking about this when I kind of turned over first. And Spike O'Sullivan was headlining it. He was fighting for an Irish title, which would be one of Pascal's well-renowned fighters at the moment. And I went down to watch him, and I seen Steve Collins in front row seats, and I was like, oh my God, there's Steve Collins. So I ran down. I was only 11 at the time. I ran down, I got a photo with Steve Collins, and he signed an autograph, said, "To Rhys, keep punching." The world champ, Steve Collins, and got a picture. Lovely fella, let me sit down beside him for the rest of the fight, so I was in awe. But it was brilliant, and then who was to know that a couple of years later I would be training out of his own gym, and I was getting trained and managed off his brother Pascal. So how I got into the gym, I think it would have been a big help from Neil Power, Waterford's own Neil Power. He was a big help. He didn't want to rest until I got to the best gym in Ireland, England, and to some people would argue the world nearly. It's a fantastic gym. Pascal is the best coach I've ever been trained by. I've been trained by a lot. Like I said, I've travelled the world with the Irish team, so I've met and I've been trained by a lot of coaches. But the stuff that Pascal does with you. But how I actually got in was Spike. Spike came down. Spike was the WBO champion. He was just after winning the belt, and we were doing a charity event in the Tower Hotel, and for Pieta House. And I got chatting with Spike, and it was all exciting. He told me, look, you can come up to our gym and train. I was only 15 at the time, anytime you like. And he said, but you would be too young to turn pro now, like, but you have the style, you have everything going for you. So then the word got out that I wanted to turn pro, and Spike had a chat with Pascal, and he said, I know this kid, he's really good. And Spike kept in contact with years with me. Neil Power had a chat with him, then there was one or two people that wanted to have a chat with him. So Pascal he really just said, look, come up and train one Saturday. And then that Saturday turned into, I'll come up again next week. And then it was like that nearly for about 3 or 4 months. And then it went like, you can come up whenever you like now. And then it was like that for a year. And then he said, right, I'll get you a fight and we'll see how things go. And if you listen to me, hopefully we'll build a career out of you. And if you don't listen to me, there's the door. So it was nearly like that. It was nearly like a trial for all the world for a year. So, but I busted my backside, as I should say on air. But I busted it for a good year. I was up and down on train, buses. I was any chance I could get to the gym. I wanted to prove to him that I wanted it. Like I wasn't there for money. I wasn't there just to be seen as a boxer. I wanted to be there for the hard way. I was working hard for it, and he liked that. He liked the determination and the will and the want for boxing, not just a style or a fashion or for money. So we built a good relationship over the last little while, and me and Pascal are very close now, and he's probably helped me with a lot as well over the last little while. So we're looking forward to building our career and our friendship over the next couple of years. So.
The weight cut's always a thing in any fighting sports, and you were saying like you used to have to go from 81 to 76, and now you're looking at going from about 93 down to 79. So what is the weight cutting process when it comes to fight week, to actually get on the scales and actually hit the target?
Yeah, well, so I actually have a very good sponsor, the Green Isle Hotel in Dublin, and I stay up with them. And it was just mad that I started my cut last week, and they were bringing, the chef was like bringing out, and the waitress was bringing out like bowls of veg, and they were like, this is all you're having. They were so shocked by it. Like, so yeah, I do different weight cuts. I do them in different ways. So at the moment I was like eating loads and loads of veg. I was more protein shakes. I was more the wiser. So what I done was hot baths, hot towels. Saunas aren't open at the moment, so it's literally just baths. I'm literally closing every door, blocking off every entrance I can to try and nearly make a sauna at home. So it's hard at the moment, but I'm getting it down steady. So just eating clean, loads of water, load of minerals, vitamins, all that kind of stuff, and it is helping. Just loads of hard work as well, loads of training, slow jogs and all that. But yeah, I'm cutting in the right areas this time as well. Like you said, like it's to a lot of people, losing weight, it's all about just getting the weight down and stuff. Before, like I said, I took a lot of positives from the coronavirus. I got to study a little bit more, so now I know where to cut the weight from in the right areas to keep that muscle, to keep the strength. And I have a lot of weight. It sounds like a lot to cut from 93 to 79, but it's not, because I'm cutting it in the right areas. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the finished product of how ripped and how strong I'll feel at that weight after coming down from such a magnificent drop. So I listened a lot to Pascal, and Pascal's approach was, don't kill yourself to make weight. There's no point. You kill yourself to make weight when you're fighting for a title. And he said, which you won't be doing anytime soon, and you're still growing. You're only 22 years of age. So he said, like, you're going to go into a 12-week training camp or an 8-week training camp. Start getting your weight down from week 1, and like now. So I'm up in Dublin at the moment. I don't really have fight news. I do and I don't. I'm not saying anything yet. But he was just saying, look, start getting it down slowly. So which I am. I'm in no rush at the moment, but I know that there is something in the pipeline. So like that, I'm not killing myself. I want to be full of energy. I want to be excited and not be dreading a weight cut. So
Rhys, all the best. Thanks a million.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks.